Good afternoon. Dr. Joe here. Just want to jump in. I have a couple things to talk about today. I know I like to just say I just want to jump in. I feel like I'm jumping into your house because you chose to watch this video and there's probably a reason for it. So the top lies in solar. A little bit on my background. If you've never heard my intro video, you don't know much about me. I don't come from a sales or door-to-door background. It's been about 2 years since I've gotten into solar door-to-door particularly, but I am a chiropractor. I'm a doctor. I owned a couple sports medicine practices. I did that while I was in school until I was about 32 years old. So that's 12 years was really my career. This one's relatively new at 2. So when I came into this industry, I was already being overwhelmed with what homeowners were telling me about why they didn't want to do solar or what they were thinking or who told them this, that, whatever. I've kind of compiled my own little grouping of lies. And when I sit with people, I kind of throw those out on the table first. I want to share those with you if you haven't been told about them yet, or you haven't heard them yet, or maybe you're thinking about solar and you heard some things, and I'll be honest with you, I'd rather you not move forward with somebody who's using some of these little bit more shady tactics on you. This is not the way it should be done. We're here to provide a service for you. We want to make sure that everyone who gets into this is truly getting the benefits out of it they should and using this to their best advantage. So, number one, it's free. You're gonna get you might even in this video, it's not mine, I'm not running it, you may get an ad in the middle of this YouTube video that says, stop, if you're in these states, you can get solar panels for free. That's not true. Nothing's free. There's never been a free anything ever. Something has to be paid for in some way, shape, or form. Why are they saying that? They're saying that because there are certain programs where you can qualify to get solar panels on your roof at no cost to you. The costs are gonna be covered by the company, and they're gonna charge you for the electricity that those panels produce. That is, in a nutshell, the real way it works. There's incentives that go along that the company would qualify for. They use those to subsidize some of those costs. But overall, yeah, the panels were technically free, but if someone knocks on your door and says it's all free, it's all free, it's all free, ask some questions. The questions are, what do I have to pay for? How are they covered costs? How do you guys afford this? How does your company stay in business if they're giving everything away? If that person can't answer all of those questions for you, send them home. Call me. I'll explain it to you. I'll show you how it works and I'll see if it makes sense for you. If it doesn't, no problem, that's okay. Another thing I commonly find when I talk to people is they've sat with another company or they've sat with somebody and they said that they got their bill, they're saving $100 a month and their new bill is $50 and it's gonna be $50 forever. Possible? Yes, it is possible. Probable? Probably not. You need to read through all the documents that you have very specifically to make sure that that bill will not be going up. Making sure there are no hidden costs associated with certain things that just weren't talked about. And make sure it's all written on paper. If a company's promising you a bill that's $50 for the next 25 years, somewhere in that document's gonna have your bill written out for 25 years, and if you can't find it, it's not real. So it can be used as a lie. There are some programs that your bill does stay the same, so just make sure you're doing your due diligence and reading the documents so that you don't get hung up on something or caught in a situation that you weren't aware of just because you trusted the person that said it to you. 3, so when it comes to solar, there's 2 different types of programs that typically exist. Ownership, which is you own your panels, or no cost, lease, PPA, power purchase agreements. It's called different things in different areas. That's where the company that is providing you the service owns the panels and you usually pay for the electricity. When it comes to ownership, a lot of the times companies will be pushing for you to buy the panels, which is perfectly fine. In some situations that works really, really well for the homeowners. However, ownership only works if you can qualify for all of the incentives that are given out by the federal and state that you live in. They will tell you, or they will market it to you as if all of those federal incentives will be back in your pocket. They might even say you get a check. They might say you get cash. Whatever it is, they have no way of knowing that. So they may not be lying, but that's not their world. You need to discuss that with your accountant. Your accountant will let you know if you qualify for the tax incentive that the federal government gives. And yes, it's a tax incentive. Therefore, that means you have to make enough money to qualify for the rebate that you could get. And it's a rebate. It goes against your taxes. Will you get a check for that amount? Maybe. If you're paid up, maybe. If you already overpaid, maybe. If you're behind on taxes, probably not. If you don't make enough money to meet the amount required to get the full refund, you may just get a partial. So you need to make sure you know all those things first. So not everyone qualifies for the federal incentive. That is false. State incentives, every state has different incentives. You have to know how to sign up for those, and the company will help you if it's the right company for you to be working with. Solar still works in a power outage. Yes and no. Solar products, technology change all the time. Solar that will work in a power outage no matter what, 100% of the time, is paired to a battery system. The way solar typically works is the energy is stored in the grid. Your electric company stores it for you. You take it back at another time. That is what net metering is, if you've ever heard that term. If the grid shuts down due to a power outage from a natural disaster or anything like that, you do not get that electricity. You can't. The grid's done. It's the one that's going to be issuing it to you. So the only way that you can get that energy, well, the only two ways, is the technology that's attached to your solar system. There are some inverters that can kind of close the system off and your solar system can continue to push electricity in your house. However, solar only works during the day. So if the power outage is at night and the solar panels aren't producing anything, it doesn't matter how good your inverter is, that's the time that you're gonna be pulling energy from the grid, regardless of whether you have that inverter or not. If the power's out, your power's out. If the power goes out during the day and you have that technology in your inverter, yes, your solar system will still run and your house will be powered. The only surefire way with solar to make sure that your power never is affected is battery storage, or a backup battery, as some people would call it. There's whole home backups, there's partial home backups, there's a ton of different brands that do it. That's the only way to make sure that if the power is out in the grid, regardless of the time of day, even if the panels aren't producing anything, your backup energy is there to keep your house running as normal until the sun comes back up the next day. The one that I think gets me every single time is stillness free. Free. We all know, we've seen those old used car salesman commercials on TV, or anytime an infomercial comes on, it's free. Just gotta pay shipping and handling. You go on shipping and handling, it's $39.99. Cool, that's crazy. Nothing's free. If someone's telling you you're getting a free roof replacement, free tree removal, free this, free that, again, ask the question, how am I getting it for free? If I didn't need the roof replacement, what would my bill be with you guys? Would it be less or would it be the same? If it would be less without the roof included, then the roof's not free. You're just paying for it. You need to ask those questions. You need to find out what is the definition of free of the person sitting across from you. And if you're starting to get a weird vibe that they can't answer that question for you, you should send them home or hang up the call and move on and find a salesman that will lay it all out for you and show you how it works, how it doesn't work. At the end of the day, this process is not supposed to be done in a way that makes you feel like you had one over on you. You're supposed to be sitting with someone who has your best interests at heart and wants to put your family in a better position than they are right now in their current situation with the utility. So if you're getting these brought to you, if this is what you're hearing, stop, ask the questions. I told you which questions to ask. If you have some more questions for me, reach out. I would love to tell you what you should be asking, talking to them, and trying to find out what makes the most sense for you. But these are just some red flags that you should be listening for, and if they can't fully explain it, that's not the person for you. So hopefully this was helpful for you. I will update these as we go if I hear more, but good luck out there. It could be crazy, and have a great day.